My name's Prashaya going to What's the Word, and I'm with Blaze and Black. How you guys are doing today?
We're
Good.
good. So it's Porsche, not Porsche.
Yes, Portia.
Porsche. Okay. Okay.
Portia.
Porsche.
You gotta put a little
Okay.
at the end of it.
Yeah, I got a little
Mm-hmm.
twang to
Portia.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that Shea is French. That's
Yeah.
that's French. I
See
got you.
it
I'm
exactly.
with
You
you.
see. You see. We're gonna go with that. It's rich. Okay. What is you guys' favorite song that you created and why?
I'm gonna let you
Favorite
go first, Rick.
favorite song I've created so far.
Yes.
I think we talk. I want to say maybe like Pinky Swear.
Okay. I like
I
that.
think I think Pinky Swear is one of those songs that's for everybody. If you're for the lovers, for those who want to one day be in love, even if you just like riding in a car
Mhm.
with someone, if the kids can be in a car, like, it doesn't matter. I think it's one of those records where it's a feel good record that you can just play at any point in time, and it's never wrong time to play it.
Okay. I like that song too.
Okay. Okay.
Bishop,
Okay.
what about you?
We're gonna stick with the album theme.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with All Right.
All right. Okay. Okay. Why?
Yeah, I think that song was a turning point in me understanding like how like I knew how wide range his production could go,
Mhm.
but All Right was just like that. That's what I've been waiting from you.
Mhm.
That's why as a rapper,
Mhm.
that's what I've been waiting for. Pinky Swear is cool. I know he has 1,000 Pinky Swears, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
this is one of those things where I know, okay, I know he's going to another level of, what I'm saying, like the I knew everybody would grasp this. I knew everybody could, what I'm saying? I knew everybody could rock with that song. I just knew All Right was simple, it was effective, it was grungy, it was edgy, it was everything that I needed at that time.
Okay. I like both of those songs as well. What is your
Thanks.
favorite moment from this year?
Favorite moment, man. It's hard to. This year has been a really, really good year for us.
Mhm.
It's hard to wrap it up into one singular moment.
Mhm.
I don't of a favorite moment.
It could be just one, just out of all the whole year.
I mean, I would have to say the fact that I think that we've been doing our thing for some time. I think that every moment in 2025 has propelled us to the very next moment,
Mhm.
and everything's been kind of just on an incline. So I think this is like the most motion that the world has seen so far as Blazing Black. So uh, every moment. So I was go to the last show we did at. I'm just gonna say the last show we did was at in Austin at Anton's.
Mhm.
I say that's a favorite moment because I know that moment is going to prepare. Next time we have a conversation, it's going to be a new favorite moment because that would have propelled us to
Mhm.
what we headed towards next.
Okay.
My favorite moment was knowing that the album was going to come out, and then the significance of the date that it dropped. When
Mhm.
I heard that, I was just like, yeah, that it aligned everything,
Mhm.
because this album is not only for our fans, but it's for our family and our day ones too. So we knew everybody like would be proud of this,
Mhm.
and this is a very pivotal and intriguing, what I'm saying, times for us, because we're like, oh man, we get to reinvent, we get to start all over again. Like we get another run without actually stopping. It's good when you don't stop and you get to reinvent yourself and start all over again. So that's a wonderful feeling.
I love that. I love that. What is you guys' favorite rap group of all time?
Outcast.
Outcast.
Outkast? What?
Did we say this? Did you say the same thing? Did we say it
Yeah.
at the same time?
You said the same thing at the same time.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that makes a lot of sense for you guys' music. I love Outkast. I love that answer. Great answer. So you guys are a duo. I know you guys have known each other since grade school. How'd you guys form into a group?
We were not a group initially. I was kind of doing my own thing,
Mhm.
and he was part of another group.
Oh.
And so his group, uh, they kind of just defunct over time.
Mhm.
And then so we ended up moving into the same neighborhood, and we decided to do like a mixtape together. and then everything went really, really good, and we kind of just been rocking ever since.
How I know
And
it's
it's one of those feelings that when people see us together, they instantly get happy. Like they instantly like we see like the way our parents like look at each other, like when my parents see him and when his parents see me, like it all just kind of the relationship just all like flow together. So, I knew eventually we'd work on music. I ain't necessarily know we was gonna be a group, but I knew we would go work on some stuff together. So, you know.
that's
Yeah.
great. I know it has to feel good to still be, friends with someone you've known for so long because I really does. You don't really see that, so
Right.
I'm, I'm glad that
Right.
y'all continue just growing and evolving, and then y'all do it together. It's really neat to see. Um, and I always want to know what is the dynamic with working in a group as far as creatively? Like, how do y'all bounce off of each other with ideas? How does that work?
So I can't speak on how every duo group works, but for us, I'm in charge of all the production.
Mm-hmm.
So I come up with a concept. Now this is how it happens most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It can happen any kind of way, but most of the time, I come up with a track, a beat, a concept for a record, and I send a rough draft over to Bishop. I send him in the email, and he listens to the email, and then he goes from there. He either say, "Yeah, I love it," or "Man, add this to it," or he might hit me back and say, "My verse is done," which means it's good to go. So that's pretty much the process. Like I come up with something, I shoot it over to him. He tell me what he thinks about it, and then it's just most of the time it's just a go. Like it's very it's not strenuous at all actually. Yeah, that's pretty much. So we don't actually create in the same space at the same time. I create what I create, and then when he's ready to lay his part down to do his part, he comes over, and then I don't know what he's going to say or do until he actually lays it down. So it's a very individual pod, but kind of the same link. So we're an individual pod, but the link is the same.
Okay, that's right, Bishop. You have anything to add to that question? No.
That's absolutely right. And I watch enough behind the scenes documentaries and behind the music documentaries that I know I do not want to miss out on being on a Rick Blaze production because if it get in the hands of somebody else and then they rhyme on it and then it's just like a hit or something and I had that track first, nah, I ain't doing that. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. Yeah, I've heard of those horror stories enough. Man, I could have been on this song. Nah, I'm on this song. I have a version to this song.
Yeah.
Even if, yeah. So
I'm glad you guys can create and collaborate in a positive way because I know sometimes with groups it's like a clash with creativity. So I'm glad you guys are coming together and just
Yeah.
and the thing is with us, everybody respects everybody's lane. Like he's the producer. I
yeah.
may hear something and I may make a suggestion, but ultimately it's his decision on the track that he produced. Just like I say, and when I rhyme, like I'm at a certain skill level to where I know what's going to, impress me. I know what's going to impress him. I know what's good for the song. So, what I'm saying? We just kind of work it like that. And if it's something that a change need to be made, we're cool, or you may need to do it again, which is rare, then we'll just do it again because we're about putting out music. So,
Right.
it makes no sense to have egos clash because oh you felt this way about this. Nah, because if you challenge me to write a better verse, I'm gonna write a better verse.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm gonna have a cadence. It
Mhm.
might not be the words, but it might be the cadence. I say I may take out words and just do some stuff and be like, oh, I didn't even know the song needed that. So it's just pushing each other to be great. That's it.
Right. And like the bottom line is we want the best record. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the ego's a check. There's songs that we've done that he's not even on it not because nobody kicked him off the song. It was like it didn't need it. There's songs he has I'm not on it. Not because I didn't nobody kicked me off the song because it didn't. He already fulfilled the purpose of the record, right? So the record is the bottom line. We do whatever we need to do to make sure the record's fire.
And that's the number one thing when
Ain't
going
nobody bigger than the program.
right. Oh,
Right.
period. I love that. I love that. Can you explain to me when exactly you wanted to pursue music and take it seriously?
I guess I'm gonna go first because we had this dynamic with me going first and Bishop going second. So I guess I just keep the dynamic going.
Hey, they don't mess up the blaze and black and turn it to black and blaze. So I got you.
Hey man, listen, they did. Hey, Austin, I ain't appreciate that part.
What happened?
We came out on stage. I gotta say this, my
Okay.
first time being able to talk about it. We came out on stage at Anton's. Beautiful audience,
Yeah.
beautiful crowd, beautiful atmosphere. The guy that introduced us called us Black and Blaze, and I did not appreciate it.
Yeah. They.
Anyway, I just had to get that out of my system.
No,
What
that's
was the
fair.
question again? So you got me all frazzled now.
No, that's fair. They need to say your name
Now
correctly.
I'm frazzled.
It's okay. Um,
Right, right,
can
right,
you,
right.
can you explain to me when exactly you wanted to pursue music and take it seriously?
Oh, there we go. I grew up in the church, so
Mhm.
I sung in the choir, and then eventually I took my mom's time for piano lessons,
Mhm.
and so I got good enough. I started playing for the youth choir.
Mhm.
So I knew then that's maybe around I don't know seventh grade that I was going to be somewhere in the music world, right? Even if it was just for church. So and then when I got older, I got into hip hop and all those things. And it just kind of, by the time I got to college, is when I got serious about it. I bought my first little beat machine, bought my first Pro Tools. So it was when I got to college is when you start spending money,
Mhm.
is when you start getting serious about the craft. So when I started spending money that I didn't have as a broke college student, running up those credit cards. So when I started doing that, is when I got serious about the craft.
When did you, where did you go to college? What school?
Sam Houston State,
Houston? Okay, okay.
Bearcats, baby.
Ah.
My little brother went to Austin, so much love to UT. You know what I mean?
I was a
So
PV, so horns down.
you went to where?
PV, Prairie View, A&M University.
You went to PV.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. All of my female cousins went to PV.
yeah,
All of my aunts went to PV. So PV
My
is,
mom and
is,
my
is
aunt
deep.
too. Yeah.
yeah,
So
PV.
I don't have no qualms with PV. I had plenty of good times sneaking, going from the party that Sam, making that drive to PV.
Yeah.
Oh, good times was had. So PV good with me.
What about you, Bishop, with music? When did you take it seriously?
When did I start taking music seriously? I'd say college. I say college. I mean, I've always, done things with music as far as make up little songs and things like that. And that was the one thing that my parents, they always like push me to be creative. And when Apollo would come on, or when, Arsenio or some late night show would come on and it'd be a rapper or R&B singer, they would call me from my room and be like, "Hey, come watch this person, come watch that person." And I'm not knowing, what I'm saying, especially my dad, because my dad, he's into that, but he's not into it like that. He's like, "Hey, get a job, get a pension, get retirement and things like that." So for him to call me in there and be like, "Hey, do you know this artist?" or "Hey, do you know that artist?" and they would see how serious I was about, music and the arts and things like that. And so they just would put me in, extracurricular activities dealing with music and the arts. But for me to take off and doing music, it was like, yeah, it was after college. Ironically enough, when I started working for the prison system,
Oh.
yeah, I had so much free time because, I would just
He
write
was,
all day
he was
long.
gonna be the next Rick Ross.
Rick Ross got some hits.
Huh?
Exactly. Yeah, I started out trying to write hooks for the inmates. You know what I'm saying? Just write hooks for them and stuff like that. And they was like, "We don't want to hear that. This is what got us in jail. That gangster stuff. We want to hear the stuff your little nerdy behind be talking about." So I was like, "I want to hear those raps." It was like, "Yeah, we grew up on hip hop. We want to use that." So I used to have to rap for them every day. So that's how I brushed up on my skills.
Oh wow. Oh my gosh. I love you guys' stories on how you got into music from the church and your parents putting you in extracurricular activities. I love how it starts from a young age and then you realize your passion for it and go after it. I really love hearing
Yeah, I mean such a great dynamic. You got church on one end and the prison system on the other end. It's like you know, You can't make that. You can't make that stuff up.
Nah, and that's kind of somewhat why we do what we do, because a lot of the programs when we were younger, they no longer exist. Like they're not pushing arts in schools like that. So when the youngsters see us full of swag, doing our thing and being successful, now they know that, oh, I don't have to be like, this rapper that talks about this or these singers that talk about this. It's some other people that's talking about things of substance
You can
and
be yourself.
dressing like they want to. Yeah, you can be yourself.
Yeah.
So they're gravitating towards us, and that's why
Right.
artists like us, we're very important. you
Mhm.
know you're seeing the art in real life form.
Yes, I love that. So I read an article, and I think it was Bishop. You said that Rick still surprises you when creating music. I believe it was Bishop. While
Yeah,
creating,
that was me 'cause I don't produce.
what what is something you both are surprised by each other when you're creating music?
I'm gonna go first since you already called my name. I'm always surprised by he takes, I'm not gonna say so little, but he takes his talent very seriously. So when I'm listening to sounds that he's going through and production that he does, like I could be right there in the studio with him listening to it, but by the time the finished product happens, the little things that he twitches, the little things like the way his mind works, I'm like, how do you hear that? How do you hear that? And even our band is surprised. Like we work with a live band, we have a live band. So they are surprised when they try to replay notes and things like that. And they're like, how did he do that? Because musically it seems very far that they can't fathom that, and their actual, you know what I'm saying, they like, he's a musician too, but they have individual instruments and they're trying to figure out the mind of Rick Blaze. So it's always, just a wonderful thing to witness and watch. Like, you know he's definitely in my top five, and not because we in a group. He's definitely in my top five.
And for me, thank you for that. And for me, I don't know if I don't know if it's a surprise, but I guess it should be a surprise. Bishop writes really fast, so it doesn't take him long to come up. My verses may come fast, it may be days later, right? So, but he'll knock out a verse as far as writing from the time he writes it to the time he records it. That may be a 30-minute process, maybe 45-minute process. So it's not, and he don't do a lot of takes. So I ain't there recording him all day long. Like he's really, really fast at what he does. And typically, if you hear him on the track first, most of the time it's because he probably finished the verse first, and we just laid the track down, right? Because he's really, really fast at writing it. So I'm not surprised because I come to expect that, but in reality, it is a surprise that someone can of that quality can go that fast and still get that type of job done without having to rewrite stuff. Oh, I don't think he'll hardly ever reach right. So there's been times where he'll finish a verse and realize that he doesn't have enough on the end, and he'll just freestyle the last bar or two, and it just goes. So he's always in the pocket of what he does, and he's never outside of his own pocket.
I think that's what makes
Appreciate it.
a great group. You guys can lean on each other and bounce off each other. So that's I love hearing that. That was so good. You guys' second album, not Nah I'm saying. Did I say it right? Now I'm saying.
You're trying too hard. You gotta let it flow. Know what I'm saying?
Oh, so now I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying.
Know what I'm saying?
Now I'm saying. Okay. I wasn't good.
There
Okay.
you go.
Now I'm saying. It's out now, and in Austin Chronicles, you stated that you want to push the importance of music as art. Can you elaborate on the art component of creating music?
Yeah, like it's you use the same side of your brain, right? It's the creative side of your brain. My dad's an actual painter, artist, so I know all too well about it. But yes, music is audio art. It's art in audio form. And if you throw a video, then that's visual and audio, right? So I just think that because of the DSPs and because music is it's diluted so much.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the entry level to be a musician is very, very low these days. All it takes is $100 and a little setup podcast mic, and then you in there, right? So the entry level is really low. So it means you get a lot of uninspired music, or people who's not really into it for the art form. They into it because it's cool. They into it because it's hip, it's trendy, or they think they can hit a lick. This is not the word. This is not the space to hit licks in. This is a lot of grind. This is a lot of hard work. So we want to make sure that we put the art part first in what we do. And that's why we make sure we took it out. That we didn't have it on DSPs. It's now on DSPs. You have to buy it from our website because there's a lot that went into this. And we want people to, I can remember a time when you had to go buy a CD from a store, and that was your world. You looking at the back of the credits, you're looking at the pictures, you're going through who, it was a whole thing. So I want to get back to creating those experiences in music, whereas you remember a time and a place when this record came out, or when you heard this album, or when you downloaded this album, and it lives with you for longer than just a brief New York minute.
Rick just gave me an idea, but with the art component, pretty soon you're gonna have a Blazing Black or Know I'm Saying exhibit. You're gonna have that because we're really gonna show you the art component of what we do, because we've always been into the art. We've always, even as kids, just been into that. So we're gonna really just amplify that so you guys can see, and this will be, one of the only hip hop projects done actually by the artists that have their own exhibit. So yeah,
I love that.
we're gonna turn it up for y'all.
And I never really put that in perspective, like what Rick said, it's audio art. I think that's what you said. Correct me if I've never thought about it like that. So you just blew my mind right now. That's really good explanation.
Audio art. Gotcha. Noted.
That's what I'm great at, blowing minds.
I've never even thought about it like that. What'd you say?
He said he's good at blowing minds.
Kapow.
Kapow.
So what was your guys' mindset going to making this album, and what were some components that you wanted to incorporate when making this album?
At which time? When we started over, or when...
So this, he's alluding to the album that was completed. It's not the album that we started on. The initial album kind of started more like almost like an R&B type feel. But then as we kind of got more and more into songs, things started to kind of present itself a different direction, kind of took a hard right. And what you see before is kind of the culmination of that. But I wanted to make sure that this album had reference points and nostalgia. Those were my two things that I kept reminding myself while producing the album. I wanted reference points and I wanted nostalgia. We're from Houston. We're from Texas, but we don't rap like we're from Texas. We don't rap like we're from Houston. If I don't say any Houston about what I rap or where we rap, you would never know I'm from Houston. The sound doesn't sound Houston. The lyrics doesn't sound Houston. None of the landscape of what we do sounds Houston. So I wanted to give that to the audience, for those who are listening, to say, hey, not only am I from the city, but I'm going to name places in the hood that we all can relate to. So that way, whether you know the record or not, you can relate, because you're like, man, they know about this spot. Only you live in the city of Houston, or you live in a certain community, then you can know about these spots, right? So that was the reference points. And then nostalgia was giving you something that feels old, but still feels new. So you'll have in some songs a cadence from 3 6 Mafia that you like, man, something in your subconsciously. You're like, it's almost like you heard it before, but you haven't. So I did a purposely throughout the album, there are certain things that has nostalgia attached to it, just so the human brain can link it with the music to make it all big one happy place, endorphins that your brain is releasing for you. So I wanted the nostalgia and I wanted the reference points. And it's very similar to what Outkast did. When Outkast dropped their music, they started coming out. They didn't sound like an Atlanta sound. They had their own sound, but they would mention Atlanta in their music. So you knew about Bankhead because they said it. You knew about other places in Atlanta because they mentioned it. But if they hadn't mentioned that, their sound wasn't Atlanta. They didn't do the snap era. They weren't part of none of those Atlanta sounds. they had their own sound. So we did a similar situation where we're gonna do our own sound, but we're gonna mention our town and our city and where we're from, so that those who are from there can rep it with pride. And for those who don't know, now they up on game too.
Bishop, do you want to add to that statement?
Hey, hey, listen. He said he said it perfectly. He said it perfectly.
So, as an artist, how much have you guys grown since the first time you started creating music till now?
A lot.
In what
Uh,
way?
in every way. I'm super critical about what we put out or what I put out. And I think as an artist, of any kind of artist, if you don't look back and see areas that you could improve on, or if your current art today,
Uh-huh.
you don't feel like it's better than what you did in the past, then you're probably going backwards. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, because we all grow, we all do different. Like, I can hear from the sounds, from the mixes to the sound that I use to every component of it. Now, there are some things that I listen to, I'm like, oh snap, that still got flavor. You know what I mean? Like, that one's still good to go. But I can still see the maturation from all components of the music. So every facet.
Bishop, what about you?
We always, we were always willing to put the work in. So we would hear things, and as the years went by and we progressed, we were like, okay, we got some there. Okay, people like this, people like that. So we just would subconsciously do better versions of those songs, or elevated versions of those songs. And like I say, being in the live music field also, it opened our ear up a lot to the possibilities of where we could take the music. So on the production side, it grew to a point to where it's like, man, this is really on par with, a lot of your favorite artists.
Yeah.
And so I knew on my end, I'm like, okay, I could always do what I needed to do, but how could I do it in today's time without compromising myself? So, like I say, I'll hear a lot of stuff that, my kids would listen to and things like that. And I'm like, what could I take from that and do it in a better version? Because what I noticed is they're just emulating their voices. I mean, they're just taking their voices and manipulating them because they don't like how their voices sound.
Mhm.
I have a hip hop voice. So all I need to do is figure out how to do these cadences and things like that and just keep the music fresh on my end lyric wise, and I'm good to go.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm good to go. So yeah, it's about elevating and seeing what you could take from, different points and make yourself better. What chinks you could put in your armor. So, you know.
And also it's important because mentally we never, how can I say this without it sounding disrespectful? I never look and see what the local scene is doing. And I never compare what we do to the local scene. I'm comparing what we do to the greats. When I'm thinking about songs and albums, I'm like, how does our album compare to a Kendrick Lamar album? How does our own album compare to a J. Cole album? Like, I'm comparing it with those. So my threshold, my expectation is all the way up here already. So what happens is, even if I don't hit that, I'm gonna fall just short of that. That's still much higher than whatever the wave that everyone else is on. So I'm never looking at my constituents to my left and to my right to say, do I got something better than them? I know I got something better than them. And how
Right.
I know? Because I'm not looking, my gauge is not them. My gauge is people above them. So you shoot for the stars. And even if you miss, you still hit the moon.
Yeah.
Right. And even with that, the perception sometimes as an artist is you may be putting out good music, but when you hear something so saturated over and over and over and over again, you're like, man, you think about, is my music not that good or what's going on? But it's not that. It's just the fact that they have the budget to spend to make you, listen to this. It's not, you know, oh man, my mix is just as good, or I got these instruments, or the production is just as good. So sometimes you just really got to just sit back and be like, okay, I know if I was pushed like that, then my music would get to the masses too. You just keep making great music, and so when people go back, they're gonna hear all of that great music
Yeah.
that
All
you
right.
put your time and your effort into. So practice definitely makes perfect, and we practice a lot.
And we
My
already
friend.
seeing how the industry does as far as streams is concerned. They just
Right.
buying the stream numbers up.
They just buying.
It's coming out on social media now. So we never gauge ourselves, our talent based on the streaming, because we know that's a game. And we for real, we play for keeps. We don't play for games. So when you listen to our project, you're gonna be like, most people who listen to it, especially for the first time, they come back and be like, man, you guys should be up there with X, Y, and Z, because we really like that with it, and we really take that kind of pride and effort into what we do.
Exactly.
I love you guys' mindset with that and improvement and not looking to left or right. I love that. You guys you said great answers, great things. We have 4 more minutes and I still have a lot of questions to ask, but and I want to schedule like maybe another interview so I can ask some of the questions.
Yeah, cool.
I
Oh,
wanted
we
to
down. Yeah, we could do it. Yeah, we could definitely do a part two. We got you.
Okay, because I definitely want to get into the live music portion, like in you guys' Rick mentioning like hip hop and rock and things like that, but I won't have time, so I'm about to hurry up. So I'm gonna ask one more question, then we're gonna do explain the lyrics, and then we're gonna be all done, okay?
All right.
So
Oh, explain the lyrics. Oh, this should be fun.
you guys have accomplished so much. What is something else that you guys haven't done that you would like to do?
Tour of the world is coming.
Yeah,
When?
simple.
What?
To the world.
What's the dates?
We working on them. We working on them, baby. We working. I'm telling you, it's coming.
Okay. Okay, so really quickly, we're gonna do explain the lyrics. So we're gonna do, I think it's a pinky swear. So you're right here, being next to me. Swear to God, I got a good or a bad girl. We thick as thieves. What do you mean by that? What was the background information with that when creating that lyric?
That my lyric or his lyric? What happened?
That's what I was saying.
Um,
That's what he said. That's
I,
you.
I'm not sure.
What did you say?
That's part
Say
of
what
the
you said
chorus.
again.
You're right here, being next to me. Swear to God, I got a good or a bad girl. We thick as thieves.
Oh yeah,
Bro,
yeah. So
that boy's a poet.
listen, so it's like, you know, it's kind of like a us against the world mentality. Like, I just need to know if you're gonna lock in with me. If you locking in with me, then it's me, you against everybody. We thick as thieves. Like, I got you. You got me, I got you. That's why the hook says, let's not pack a bag, let's just up and go. We're not even packing. We finna just rock somewhere, me and you, we got each other. That's all we need. We're gonna go somewhere to a place where nobody knows, right? So as long as it's about two people just locking in and really being down for each other. And if people don't rock with it, then it don't really matter. Like, you got each other. And so it's like, swear to God, I got you. Like, I got you for sure.
And Rick, you wrote that?
Yeah.
Bishop, you didn't write that?
Man, he wrote his own stuff.
What do you think? What do you think about that bar? What do you think?
Man, listen, so I'm not gonna lie to you. It all flows together for me. So I knew he said the thickest thieves. I didn't know he said the other part. So you put me on something new today. So I like that. As a poet myself. I smiled. I smiled. Yeah. Yeah. I smiled. Yeah.
Really quickly, y'all into poetry? Y'all like poetry? Both of you guys?
Yeah.
I
He
mean,
started off in poetry.
right.
Who's your favorite? Who do y'all have some favorite poets?
I like Raphael De La Ghetto.
Turn on to the right of them. Turn on to the Rafael de la Ghetto is yeah.
Okay.
If you know, you know.
I know. Right there, that's real fit. Come on. Y'all are funny.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on my show. What's the word? I'm sorry we ran out of time. I had so many more questions. Blaze and Black. Shout out your social medias for everyone, and any last words, anything you got coming up that you'd like to share, go ahead and shout it out, share it.
Yeah, BLAZEXBLACK on all social media platforms. BLAZE, the letter X, Black, BLACK. The new album you can buy exclusively on blazeandblack.com. BLAZEANDBLACK.com.
Check it out, check it, check it out, check it, check it.